Have you ever noticed patterns in your life that feel too precise to be random? Maybe you keep seeing the same numbers, meeting the same types of people, or encountering situations that seem perfectly timed. Some call these coincidences, but if you're noticing them repeatedly, you're witnessing something deeper, something your conscious mind may barely comprehend. Synchronicities aren't just fleeting moments or random luck, they are messages, nudges, and signals guiding you toward your higher purpose. The universe has a way of speaking, and if you're paying attention, these moments are impossible to ignore. The first thing to understand about synchronicities is that they are not about chance. They are the universe's way of catching your attention. Think about it, how often do coincidences occur that are so precise, so meaningful that they seem to defy probability? This is not happenstance. When you see patterns repeatedly, it's your subconscious aligning with something greater. Your mind, body, and spirit are receiving signals that push you toward awareness, growth, or critical decisions. It's as if the universe is tapping you on the shoulder, saying, "Look closer. Pay attention." Most people dismiss these moments because they want to rationalize everything. It's just a coincidence, they say. But what if it's not? What if every number, every face, every random phrase you hear is a deliberate thread in a tapestry you haven't fully understood yet? Synchronicities often appear when you are at a crossroads or about to make a significant shift in life. They are signs that the path you are on is either aligned or misaligned with your higher self. Recognizing them requires awareness, a willingness to notice, reflect, and interpret with intuition rather than logic alone. Here's a crucial point. Synchronicities often happen when you are emotionally or spiritually receptive. When you're stressed, distracted, or closed off, these signs can appear but may pass unnoticed. That's why people often say synchronicities increase when you meditate, journal, or practice mindfulness. When you slow down, you give yourself permission to notice the subtle ways the universe communicates. Your intuition acts as a filter, separating meaningful signals from random noise. Now, let's talk about timing. The universe rarely sends messages in ways that feel random. Instead, synchronicities arrive when you are ready to act or understand. If you've ever experienced a moment of déjà vu that later connected to something significant, you've encountered the subtle timing of universal guidance. These moments are not always dramatic. They are small, quiet confirmations. An unexpected message in a song, an unusual conversation, or even a number sequence on a clock that repeats just as you think of a question. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations, reminders, and invitations to pay closer attention. Another key aspect is emotional resonance. Synchronicities often trigger a feeling of awe, surprise, or deep recognition. You may feel a sudden chill, a burst of excitement, or even tears. These emotional reactions are proof that the alignment is not just happening on a superficial level, but within your consciousness. When the universe speaks, it doesn't do so through logic. It speaks through experience, emotion, and the subtle movements of energy that you feel in your heart, mind, and body. You might be wondering, are synchronicities random? Or are they orchestrated by some higher intelligence? The answer depends on your perspective. From a purely materialistic standpoint, they might appear as coincidences, but from a spiritual perspective, these are deliberate signals. Think of them as signposts along a path you are destined to walk. Some people call it divine timing, others call it the law of attraction, and some describe it as alignment with the flow of consciousness itself. Whatever you name it, the effect is undeniable. Your life can change direction in meaningful ways when you notice and act upon these signs. Here's a practical tip: start keeping a synchronicity journal. Every time you notice a pattern, a meaningful coincidence, or a repeated sign, write it down. Over time, you'll notice connections that were invisible at first glance. You may see a repeated theme in your life, a pattern of opportunities, or a series of events that are nudging you toward growth. This exercise does two things: it trains your awareness and helps you recognize your intuitive insights when they arise. Synchronicities also often highlight your inner blocks or areas where growth is necessary. If you keep seeing repeated signs that point toward relationships, career decisions, or personal challenges, these are areas that demand your attention. Ignoring them won't make them disappear. It will only delay your growth. The universe uses synchronicities to guide you toward alignment, but the decision to act is yours. Recognizing a sign is one thing, responding to it is another. Finally, remember that synchronicities are deeply personal. What resonates with one person may pass unnoticed by another. Your experiences are unique, and your guidance is tailored specifically for you. That's why it's critical to develop trust in your perception. Doubt can cloud the clarity of these messages. whereas openness and curiosity allow you to receive them fully. The more you engage with life consciously, the more these patterns reveal themselves. They are always there, waiting for you to notice, understand, and act. Once you begin noticing synchronicities, something fascinating happens. Your perception of reality starts to shift. Suddenly, life feels less like a random sequence of events and more like a deeply interconnected web. You start realizing that nothing truly happens by accident. Each encounter, each event, and each moment contains layers of meaning you may not have been aware of before. This realization can feel liberating, even thrilling, because it opens a doorway to a life of conscious choice, deeper understanding, and extraordinary awareness. One of the most profound aspects of synchronicities is how they highlight your alignment, or misalignment, with your true path. Think of your life as a river. When you are flowing with the current, opportunities, people, and signs appear effortlessly. But when you resist, when you force your life against the natural flow, synchronicities can serve as gentle, or sometimes persistent, reminders that a course correction is needed. They are the universe's way of signaling, pay attention, you're veering off path. Synchronicities are also a reflection of your inner state. The energy you carry, your beliefs, and your emotional patterns all influence the frequency and clarity of these meaningful coincidences. For example, if you are focused on scarcity, fear, or doubt, you may notice signs that reinforce those feelings, often appearing as obstacles or challenges. Conversely, if you cultivate openness, gratitude, and curiosity, synchronicities tend to show up as opportunities, guidance, and confirmations. In this sense, they act as a mirror, reflecting your internal reality back to you through external events. It's essential to understand that synchronicities are not always dramatic or mystical. Many are subtle, almost invisible if you're not paying attention. It might be a casual comment someone makes that suddenly provides clarity, a chance meeting with a person who changes your perspective, or even a recurring image in your dreams that connects to real-life events. The key is to notice the repetition and the timing. When patterns begin to emerge, you can't help but realize that these events are interconnected in ways that surpass chance. The concept of contrast is crucial when interpreting synchronicities. Often, these meaningful coincidences appear most clearly after periods of struggle, uncertainty, or confusion. When you've experienced challenges, synchronicities may arrive as clear confirmations, helping you see the lessons and patterns that were previously hidden. This contrast, between chaos and clarity, confusion and insight, amplifies their impact. Without experiencing the before, the after moment would not feel as powerful or significant. Consider how synchronicities often manifest in relationships. You might encounter someone seemingly out of nowhere who brings a message, opportunity, or connection that changes your trajectory. It could be a friend, a mentor, or even a stranger whose words resonate with your current challenge. These encounters are rarely coincidental. They are orchestrated by the flow of energy around you. When you pay attention to these moments, you begin to notice that your network, your connections, and your interactions are guided in subtle but meaningful ways. Numbers are another fascinating aspect of synchronicities. Repeated number sequences like 1111, 2, 2033 are often cited as classic examples. These sequences aren't just curiosities, they are signals that your consciousness is tuning into a higher frequency. Each number carries symbolic meaning, often tied to personal growth, awakening, or alignment. When you notice these patterns, it's an invitation to pause, reflect, and connect with your intuition. Ask yourself, what is the universe trying to show me right now? Synchronicities also serve as motivators. When you notice repeated patterns, you begin to trust the process of life more. You realize that even in moments of uncertainty, guidance exists, though it may require patience and attentiveness. The more you acknowledge and act on these signs, the more your life begins to feel purposeful and aligned. This creates a cycle of trust. The universe gives you signs, you respond, and your life unfolds in increasingly meaningful ways. It's important to note that synchronicities can sometimes challenge you. Not every sign is easy to interpret, and not every coincidence is immediately clear. Sometimes the universe tests your discernment, patience, or willingness to trust. These challenges are part of the process. They teach you to read between the lines, to develop intuition, and to recognize patterns without forcing interpretations. The key is balance, as being observant without overanalyzing, open without becoming desperate for meaning. Meditation, journaling, and mindfulness practices significantly enhance your ability to recognize synchronicities. When you quiet the mind, you increase your sensitivity to subtle signals. Meditation allows you to align with your inner knowing, creating a state where synchronicities become more visible. Journaling, on the other hand, helps you track recurring patterns, revealing connections that might otherwise go unnoticed. These practices act as amplifiers, heightening your perception and deepening your understanding of the guidance around you. Let's also explore the relationship between synchronicities and decision-making. Many people seek external validation before making a choice, but synchronicities offer an alternative. They serve as internal confirmations. When a meaningful coincidence aligns with a decision, it can provide reassurance, clarity, and confidence. It's as if the universe is whispering, "This path is aligned with your higher purpose." Conversely, the absence of synchronicities, or repeated blocks, can signal the need to reconsider or pause. Finally, remember that synchronicities are deeply personal experiences. What resonates with you may go unnoticed by someone else. Your unique perspective, experiences, and state of consciousness shape how these signs appear and how you interpret them. Trusting your intuition is crucial. The universe often works in mysterious ways, but the guidance you receive is tailored specifically to you. By honoring and acting upon these signals, you open yourself to a life that feels more coherent, meaningful, and aligned with your true self. As you begin to embrace the presence of synchronicities, you'll notice a profound shift in how you perceive challenges and opportunities. Life starts to feel less like a chaotic sequence of random events and more like a carefully orchestrated symphony, where each note, each moment, carries meaning. This is the subtle magic of synchronicities. They transform ordinary experiences into extraordinary lessons and revelations, showing you that you are never truly alone or disconnected from the flow of life. One of the most remarkable aspects of synchronicities is their ability to reveal hidden patterns in your life. Often, we move through our days unaware of the connections that bind our experiences together. A repeated theme in relationships, a recurring challenge in career or health, or even repeated symbols in dreams can all be signals pointing toward areas that need your attention or understanding. By observing these patterns, you gain insight into your own behaviors, thoughts, and beliefs, and how they interact with the broader web of life. Synchronicities also act as a bridge between your conscious mind and the deeper wisdom of your subconscious. Your subconscious is constantly processing information, making connections, and sensing patterns that your conscious mind may overlook. When synchronicities occur, they often carry messages that your subconscious is trying to communicate. These messages can guide you toward better choices, deeper awareness, or important realizations that may have remained hidden without these subtle cues. Consider how synchronicities influence creativity and problem-solving. Many artists, writers, and innovators report experiencing sudden insights, ideas, or solutions that appear out of nowhere. Often, these breakthroughs are preceded by a series of meaningful coincidences, chance encounters, repeated phrases, or unexpected observations that spark a new perspective. This is synchronicity at work, aligning your inner creativity with external events to produce moments of inspired clarity. Recognizing these signs can dramatically enhance your ability to create, innovate, and move forward with purpose. The timing of synchronicities is rarely accidental. They appear precisely when you need guidance, clarity, or encouragement, often in ways that seem almost miraculous. This timing is not always convenient or predictable, but it is purposeful. Sometimes, a synchronicity will come in the form of a person, a conversation, or even a fleeting thought that changes the course of your day or your life. Other times, it may appear as a series of subtle signals that, when pieced together, reveal a larger truth. The universe communicates in layers, and synchronicities are one of the most elegant ways it does so. Emotional resonance is another critical factor. Synchronicities are rarely neutral. They evoke a response in you, whether it's awe, excitement, relief, or even confusion. This emotional reaction is a confirmation that the event is meaningful and worth your attention. When you notice these responses, it's an invitation to explore further, to reflect on the context, and to consider how the message applies to your life. Ignoring the emotional aspect of synchronicities often means missing the depth and richness of their guidance. It's important to understand that synchronicities are not just about receiving messages. They are also about taking action. The universe can provide countless signs, but transformation occurs when you respond. These signs are nudges, not commands. They point the way, but you must walk the path. By noticing, interpreting, and acting upon synchronicities, you create a feedback loop. The more you engage with these meaningful coincidences, the more they appear, and the more aligned your life becomes. Many people experience synchronicities in the form of numbers, symbols, or repeating events. These can appear in unexpected places: a clock showing a repeating number sequence, a book falling open to a meaningful page, or a song lyric that mirrors your current thoughts. These occurrences may seem trivial at first glance, but repeated patterns reveal their significance. Paying attention to the context, your emotions, and the timing of these events allows you to decode their messages and apply them to your life. Synchronicities can also provide guidance during periods of uncertainty. When you are facing important decisions or navigating major life changes, these meaningful coincidences often act as beacons. They offer reassurance, clarity, and a sense of direction, reminding you that you are supported and that your path is unfolding according to a larger plan. Even small synchronicities, like encountering someone who shares a helpful perspective or seeing a recurring symbol, can provide the confidence you need to move forward with trust and courage. A critical aspect of working with synchronicities is cultivating mindfulness. Being present allows you to notice subtle signals that might otherwise go overlooked. Mindfulness practices such as meditation, conscious breathing, or reflective journaling heighten your awareness, enabling you to recognize patterns and messages with greater clarity. When you develop this attentiveness, life begins to feel richer, more meaningful, and more interconnected. You start to see that synchronicities are not rare or random. They are constant, patiently waiting for you to notice. It's also valuable to recognize that synchronicities are deeply personal. What holds meaning for you may be invisible to others. Your unique life experiences, beliefs, and current circumstances shape how these signs manifest and what they signify. This personal nature is what makes synchronicities so powerful. They are tailored guidance, custom designed to lead you toward alignment, growth, and understanding. Trusting your own perception is key. Doubt can cloud the clarity of these signs, whereas openness and curiosity allow you to receive their full message. Finally, synchronicities encourage a shift in consciousness. As you begin to notice and follow these meaningful coincidences, you develop a heightened awareness of life's interconnectedness. You start to perceive the underlying intelligence in the universe, recognizing that events, people, and experiences are woven together in a vast, intricate web. This awareness transforms not only your understanding of external events but also your inner world. You begin to see yourself as an active participant in the unfolding of your life, rather than a passive observer of random occurrences. As you fully embrace synchronicities, a remarkable transformation occurs. You start to trust life in a way that transcends fear, doubt, and uncertainty. Every meaningful coincidence, every repeated sign, becomes a reminder that you are connected to a vast intelligence guiding your journey. This trust doesn't mean life becomes effortless. Challenges may still arise, but it changes how you respond. You begin to see obstacles as lessons, detours as opportunities, and moments of confusion as invitations to deepen your awareness. Synchronicities also reveal the power of alignment. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are in harmony with your higher self, the universe responds in kind. You begin to notice doors opening where there were walls, conversations that feel divinely timed, and opportunities arriving in ways that surpass your expectations. This alignment is not about control or manipulation, it's about resonance, tuning yourself to the frequency of guidance, intuition, and flow. The more you cultivate this resonance, the more life reflects your inner clarity back to you. One of the most profound lessons synchronicities teach is patience. The universe operates on its own timing, often slower or more intricate than our minds expect. Sometimes signs appear gradually, requiring you to cultivate awareness and trust over weeks, months, or even years. Learning to wait without forcing interpretation is part of the practice. When you allow life to unfold naturally, you give yourself the gift of clarity, and synchronicities reveal their messages in perfect timing, often when you least expect it but most need it. Another essential aspect is discernment. Not every repeated event or coincidence carries deep meaning. The key is learning to sense which moments resonate at a higher frequency with your inner knowing. Your intuition acts as a guide, separating meaningful synchronicities from ordinary coincidences. By developing this discernment, you avoid overanalyzing or projecting meaning where it doesn't belong, allowing genuine signs to stand out clearly and powerfully. Ultimately, recognizing and acting upon synchronicities is about empowerment. You are not passive in the face of life's randomness. You are an active participant, co-creating with the universe. Each meaningful coincidence is a reminder of your agency and your ability to align with your true purpose. The more you engage with these signs, the more confident and attuned you become to the subtle intelligence guiding your path. Life begins to feel less like a series of disconnected events and more like a coherent, purposeful journey. So, if you are seeing synchronicities, pay attention. Notice the patterns, the timing, and the emotional resonance. Trust your intuition, journal your experiences, and act upon the guidance you receive. These signs are not random. They are your personal roadmap, leading you to growth, clarity, and alignment. Embrace them, and you'll discover that life is not a series of accidents, but a tapestry of meaningful connections, intricately woven to guide you toward your highest potential.